So I want to begin with an invitation for you to take a moment, check in, maybe take a deep breath, and identify just one word that best describes how you feel right now. Just one word. And then make a note of that, as we're going to use that as we keep going. So choose one word. Keith, do you want to share your adjective, perhaps?
Restful.
Restful. So over the course of the next couple minutes, in a very, very simplified way, we're going to talk about two insights from neuroscience and the opportunities that they present for coaches and coaching. Those two being non-conscious decision-making and the PFC's, your prefrontal cortex's just right zone. So one of the central messages coming out of the brain-based sciences is that the vast majority of our behavior is the outcome of a process being run through our body, mostly through our brain. Research suggests that 95% of our behavior is the result of a non-conscious or pre-conscious process, leaving just 5% up to conscious decision-making. So just this one piece of information can really change how we think about behavior, ours and others. Recognizing that behavior is a response changes our relationship to this. It creates a different kind of curiosity, an openness for us to think about the things that we do and why we do them in a different way. In coaching, it often mitigates, even eliminates, some of the self-limiting beliefs that a coaching customer might have. Things like, oh, that just comes to others easier than it comes to me. Or I've never been particularly good at, let's say, attention or focus. For many, it allows an opportunity to take a deeper exploration, a deeper look at motivations, reactions, history, patterns, in a way that often yields new insights. So the most important, the most oldest and powerful system in your brain, the limbic system, makes the first and most influential decision in any situation. That decision being whether or not you're going to engage, get closer, and allow yourself to be influenced by someone or something, or whether or not you're going to try to stay away from, avoid, resist being influenced by someone or something. Your brain makes this decision in a fifth of a second, a blink of an eye. And whether or not it reads it correctly, it begins this cascade of biochemical and hormonal responses in our system that determine how we think, how we feel, and how we act. So if our brain perceives a situation as perhaps inconsistent, maybe there's some mistrust, uncertain if it's safe for us to engage, it's going to activate the cortisol and stress-related systems. And we're likely to feel suspicion, resistance, kind of danger, perhaps even rejection. If our brain perceives something as engaging, positive, rewarding, inclusive, it's going to activate the dopamine-related systems, which are going to lead us to feel engaged, optimistic, energized, joyful, even really connected. So our perception influences our physiology, which drives our experience. So what does this mean for us as coaches? Certainly as coaches, we need to remember that you can't easily trick the brain, that a decision is being made about us in the blink of an eye, based on how we've made word choices, body language, facial expressions, and an attributed intention to what we might be all about. If we add to that people have unique approach and avoidance detection systems, we can't assume that what may be really inviting to you is going to be really inviting to me, or how another person might really engage. So there's a real call to action in this for us, to truly understand what it means to engage people in that towards and connected space. We know this in our modern language through expressions like, you only get one chance to make a first impression. So let's now add our second insight into this. That being that to really optimally use our executive functioning, our PFC, things like decision-making, strategy, emotional regulation, planning, prioritization, that we need to understand how Goldilocks the brain is, as Amy Arnsten from Yale would call it. That we each have a very personal and unique just right zone for how our brain really maximizes those functions. And it's the blend of just enough excitatory stress chemicals could say arousal in the sciences, that we're able to move from apathy and boredom and lethargy into focus such that we can engage and stay really plugged in without having too much that we're already over the top and perhaps we're feeling overwhelmed, disenfranchised, a little frazzled, disorganized. So let me ask you, what was the adjective that you chose when we start? And where would you put that on the curve? So what was your adjective for right now? Might you be on the left side? Something like distracted, sleepy, bored. Might you be climbing up? Curious, maybe a bit alert. At the top, yeah, this is cool, I want to learn more. I hope this is more than 8 minutes. Perhaps you're on the other side. On the right side, feeling tired, overwhelmed, stressed, frazzled. When we think about bringing something like this into coaching, there are many opportunities, both for us as coaches and for our clients. As coaches, this one word, just this check-in, can help inform what we may need to do to prepare for an upcoming session, how to bring our best self into that conversation or engagement. If we actually do this as an exercise with someone that we're talking with, in one word, we have so much information about where they are, perhaps the capacity that they have and what type of work that they could engage in. Maybe it informs your strategy. Perhaps there needs to be a little bit more excitement, a little bit more feet to the fire, a little bit more stress in the brain, such that they can move into that zone where some real work can happen. Perhaps they're talking about a word that would be over the top. We could say stressed, tired, scattered, unorganized. And maybe that informs that it's worth spending a little time there and exploring what it means towards calm. Either way, when we use this for ourselves and in our coaching relationships, we begin to strengthen our connection with self-awareness, emotional self-awareness. We begin to understand how to navigate, how we move back and forth across this curve many, many times throughout the day. Perhaps most importantly, we begin to understand how to match our best cognitive resources with the complexity of the task at hand. So these are just two of the many fascinating insights that are coming out of the brain-based sciences. And if you think about incorporating these into your repertoire, they really offer an additional gift to the people that you're working with in terms of knowing themselves in a different way, understanding better how you're wired, and perhaps having an additional way to navigate to the change that wishes to be made. So I leave you with this question. Do you see an opportunity to bring more brain into coaching? Thank you.